man who brought alchemy to Sheen.
It's him! I was right! I was right! Yes! Oh, shit. Dude's not giving up. Oh, I've got chills. Oh, f***ing hell. The souls from... Oh, the Xerxian souls from Envy. Oh, the other stone. The other stone. I forgot. Hey. Welcome back to another Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood video. Today we have episode 42, coming off of perhaps two of my favorite episodes of the show thus far. So we got a massive lore dump about Hohenheim and Father, how they both came to be, their origin story, if you will. Father was born some sort of homunculus. Apparently it seems like we're not going to get a proper reveal on how, you know, the homunculus came into existence, but we know it was created using Hohenheim's blood. And Father, as the homunculus, tricks the king of Xerxes into turning Xerxes itself into a massive transmutation circle, and then we actually get to see what goes down in Xerxes. You know, that one night where all of Xerxes was wiped out, everyone except for Father and Hohenheim, and all of the Xerxian souls now reside within Father and Hohenheim. Now, Hohenheim has specifically said he is a Philosopher's Stone in the form of a man. We know Philosopher's Stones can take on many different forms. Now, we know Father started off as a homunculus, so I'm assuming he is still a homunculus, just in the form of Hohenheim. Given he had his blood, he could create a body that looked exactly the same as Hohenheim's, but it's definitely safe to assume at this point that Father is also a Philosopher's Stone. And the confirmation that I was so happy to hear about, that yes, they were the two sages that were spoken of way back when, one being Hohenheim that went to Shing to introduce alchemy and eventually create alchemy, and the other being Father, who began to create Amestris for the sole goal of creating this massive transmutation circle, which is going to be on such a bigger scale than Xerxes. And I'm really starting to think that maybe Amestris itself is going to become a Philosopher's Stone, or maybe that is the goal. And I only have very small memories of what Ed was talking about inside Gluttony, about what the Xerxes mural actually means. You know, a lot of powers to do with like gods or overthrowing God or something like that. Perhaps that is Father's goal, to just have so much power he can just do whatever the hell he wants. And I did have a moment last discussion thinking about, you know, Xerxian souls, and we know specifically that Envy is made up of Xerxian souls, but as someone did point out in the comments, and I did kind of think about this a little bit, but I didn't really go into detail about it because there was so much else going on. But in essence, because all of the homunculi do come from Father, and he is made up of Xerxian souls, then all of the homunculi are made up of Xerxian souls, which does make a lot of sense. But the situation we find ourselves with in the present is that Roy has been informed by Hawkeye that Celine Bradley is a homunculus, and there's all sorts of trouble going on up north. Central has taken over Briggs. Olivier is currently in Central, kind of trying to team up with Bradley, saying you'll need someone to replace Raven. She's playing her role very, very well. She's been such a great character. So I'm really keen to see what happens with those who are in Central right now, being Roy, Hawkeye, Olivier, and Bradley. And then up north, we've had Ed, who's just come off extremely worse for wear in his battle against Kimberly. He's been impaled, but he's gone through this fantastic sequence of events where he saved the chimeras from being crushed, and they've helped him remove the pole that was piercing him, and he's managed to use his own soul, his own life force, seemingly like a Philosopher's Stone of one soul, to heal himself. And it's not perfect, but it's just incredible that he was able to do that. And remember what that was like when he did it, escaping Gluttony, using the Xerxian souls from Envy. So Heinkel and Darius, the two chimeras that have helped Ed after he saved them, now have the Philosopher's Stone with them that Kimberly dropped. So that's something to remember going forward, that if they eventually meet up with everyone else, we do have a Philosopher's Stone with us. Now back with the other group, Alphonse has had a second experience seeing his body again. His body's still pulling on his soul, and he has collapsed. Now these are two instances that have happened very close together, so you really start to wonder if Alphonse is running out of time. Maybe it's related to, you know, what Ed has just been through. Ed is very weak. We know they're very connected in some way, but currently Ed and Al are both out of action. I'm assuming Kimberly is going to continue off through the tunnels to chase after Winry's group. There's just so much that can happen from here, and I'm really excited. I think I've talked a lot more than I intended to in this intro, so I'm going to get straight into the episode now. Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood, episode 42. Is this maybe where Scar wanted everyone to go? Okay, Alphonse has been taken apart. I think he's still unconscious, it seems. Bless you, Yoki.
Look at this. He mentions that phrase again here.
Still deciphering more of the notes.
We believe there's a chance these notes were written in code.
Okay, like alchemists do, right?
Typically
Yeah.
protective of their research and methods.
So it's not just in Ishvarlin, it's also in code.
We noticed that he uses several different terms for gold and immortality across various passages.
Scar's brother was cooking a little bit. Al?
Where am I?
He's back. And he's just in pieces, though.
Why am I in pieces?
That's what I'm saying, bro.
As for why you're in pieces, you were too heavy to carry home.
Oh, that'll do it. That makes sense.
That makes sense.
Has this ever happened to you before?
Just once, when I was trying to find you guys.
Well,
It's really good lighting in this shot.
comfortable. Why don't we start putting you back together?
Please, if you don't mind.
There's some Humpty Dumpty stuff.
Well, I guess we should reassemble him correctly.
What are you saying, May? Okay. Is she figuring something out about the notes right now? Okay. Yeah, I see. The pages are not in order. Oh, don't just put it on the floor.
What have you done? How could you be so careless?
No, she's figuring it out, man.
Need to rearrange the pieces.
That's sick.
Connecting each occurrence of the words for gold and immortality by physically overlapping them.
Oh.
An immortal being. This phrase appears earlier in the notes.
A true being. That overlaps here.
Okay, I think I understand how this is going to connect.
Here, that's the last one.
Okay.
I wonder if we...
Oh, stop it. It's a transmutation circle.
It can't be.
That's sick.
It's the
Wait.
countrywide
Yeah.
transmutation circle.
Oh my god.
It's too late for this to help us now.
Wait, you saying what I think? You mean these damn research notes are completely useless to us?
No. There has to be more. There has to be
Families, our
more.
country.
I should have known this was nothing but an act of futility.
No.
It's naive to think someone else's research could save us.
Brother, is this really all that you were trying to tell me?
No.
We're missing something.
Yes. Come on, talk to him, Al.
We've only broken the first code. And
There's
I bet
more.
There's more.
Yes, that's what I'm
There's gotta
saying.
be some other message hidden in there.
Wonder how Scar's brother figured even this much out, though. Maybe in the same way Hughes did. I don't know how we would have had access to all the information, though. Yoki!
Your mouth, you idiot!
Well, thanks for caring that I'm getting sick.
Yoki, he's helped somehow, I guarantee it.
You can't even tell which side of the page is right side up anymore.
Jesus. And there it is. Turn it upside down. Turn everything upside down.
That's gotta be it.
Damn it, Yoki.
You take a bad situation and you turn it around. There's two sides. We've got to put it back together and then flip it over.
Yep. Oh, I'm getting very excited. Now what? Now what have we got?
Well,
You were right, Al. It's a new Amestrian
A new
transmutation
one.
circle, but it's activated through Xinghee's alchemy instead.
Oh. Oh, that's signs of a counteroffensive. That's so sick. That's the answer to this. Kimberly.
There's no evidence.
Don't lick your lips after that, you demon.
I might have taken the wrong path after all. Guess I'll turn back.
Oh, this is very ominous. What is Kimberly gonna find? Because this is clearly not the way everyone else went. Uh-oh.
Must have been using this place to dispose of the excess rubble from the tunnel that Sloth has been digging.
Okay, I was thinking about that a little bit. Oh my god, it's Pride.
You must be the Crimson Alchemist. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Dude, he came in so quick.
Any new developments with Scar?
I'm actually pursuing him now.
Worry about him later.
Oh,
Now, go ahead and carve the crest of blood at Briggs.
it's time.
With all due respect, Pride, the soldiers of Briggs are much stronger and more resourceful than you might realize.
Then use their strength to your favor.
What does that mean?
Sloth is nearing completion of the tunnel, so there's little time left.
They want to do it straight away.
So it's an urgent matter. Well, if you insist that I carve the crest of
You do have a Philosopher's Stone still.
I'll be happy to oblige you.
Okay. So now we're worried about Briggs again.
We've heard that Kimberly has gone
Okay,
missing.
Miles is back.
You heard right. No one's heard from Kimberly or a few others since then.
They don't know about
Thorough search
me.
through the rubble, but no bodies turned up.
So they haven't found Ed, the Chimeras, or Kimberly.
Are the other men that are missing Briggs soldiers?
No. They were two of Kimberly's
Hmm.
men. And the Fullmetal Alchemist.
Yeah. But we know they're fine.
That's so. Fullmetal's missing.
Oh, Brado, it's been a minute.
I hope he's all right. Afraid
West. Okay.
not. The border war at Pendleton was a massacre.
If the military was hoping for casualties, they sure as hell got them.
Yep, maybe that's another crest of blood.
It's just like you said. They're sending men in to be slaughtered for this transmutation.
Oh my god. Dude, it's happening. It's we're getting close.
It's just as bad down there.
Damn, so Roy's men are all scattered about. In the trenches. That's Fury. Oh, Jesus Christ. Are we living? We're living.
Just don't stop! Thomas!
Thomas is dead, though. Yeah, that's not looking so good. Jesus Christ.
Damn it! I'm gonna survive this! I'm gonna live!
I want Roy's whole squad to live, man. Oh my goodness.
Have you been in touch with the colonel?
Yeah. We've been using a messenger connected to the Armstrong family.
Nice, nice, nice. Yeah, the flower woman.
Good to hear.
Trying to be.
Uh-oh.
Family's got his soldiers everywhere up here.
Oh no.
Working
Oh
around the
no.
clock to create hell on Earth. And the worst part is there's nothing we can do.
Is this a transition or where are we going right now? This must be a transition. And it sounds like Sloth. Yeah, okay. He's just connected the tunnel. Holy dooly.
Connected. Does this mean I can rest? Can I, Pride?
Oh my god, look at Salim.
Draws near. The day of reckoning is almost within our grasp.
The day of reckoning.
Full metal.
Oh, no. Oh, we're getting so close to the end. What are we doing here?
Hey everyone!
Rose.
Go ahead and line up!
Who be Rose? Where are we? What are we doing?
Excuse me.
Hohenheim.
May I have some food? If you don't mind.
Look at him. Are we? I imagine we're still in the present.
Thank you. You saved me. Literally. Thanks so much.
But you're immortal, Hohenheim.
Not really from anywhere. I tend to travel mostly.
And what brings you all the way out to Lior?
Lior. Okay.
We're just surprised to have a tourist. Most
Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I completely forgot. This is Rose. We saw her. I think it was either episodes 2 or 3 when Ed and Al were up in Lior sorting out the priest. I felt like I was supposed to remember this character from somewhere, but yes, now that they've mentioned they're in Lior, I do remember Rose.
there isn't much left here after the riots.
Yeah, so this is all after the uprisings that have happened.
Cooking is a good enough reason to
And this is where Hohenheim is.
I just wish there was more I could do to help out around here.
A delicious meal and the smile of a lovely young lady are more help than you can imagine.
Hohenheim's a real one.
But can you point me towards the church?
This is what's left
Yep.
of it.
Yep.
There's nothing left inside either.
I think Ed transmuted that, right?
Passage that-
Early on in the show.
And what's this?
The water turned toxic. No one's really sure how it happened.
I get the feeling that this was put here to keep people from going any further.
Let's go, Hohenheim.
Wait!
Hey, what are you doing? That stuff will kill you!
No, don't worry about him. Oh, that's so cool. We haven't seen Hohenheim do anything like this yet.
It's some kind of miracle.
Nope.
That's no miracle, but I know what it is.
Yep.
That's alchemy.
That is alchemy. He must be such a good alchemist at this point. It's been 500 years. Okay, what are we gonna find? It's the tunnel. He's found Sloth's tunnel.
Found it right off the bat, didn't I?
What's that? Oh my god, look at this. What you got, Hohenheim? That scared the crap out of me.
Okay then.
See what Hohenheim can do. Okay? I think it's just if there's shadows, man. Yeah.
Afraid that's all I've got.
No, you're lying. Oh shit. Why stop? What is this?
Something wrong.
You look just like
Yeah,
you must
like
be
father.
Hohenheim.
So I'm assuming that this must be the edge of your container. You'll die if you pass it, correct?
Hmm.
You can't survive outside of your container, can you?
Just like the homunculus in the flask?
I'm guessing that you can only move freely within these tunnels and Central City.
Okay.
I'll take that as a yes.
Oh.
What's wrong? Why the silent treatment? Did I hit a nerve?
Jesus.
Are you angry?
This is so tense.
I'm never angry. Anger does not exist within me. I left all unnecessary emotions within Father. All but one. My name is Pride.
I see.
Arrogant. That
Ooh.
makes sense. There are 7 deadly sins within man.
Yep.
Lust,
Show them all.
sloth, gluttony, envy, wrath,
Yep.
of course, pride.
So cool.
You're obviously the first one that he separated.
Yep.
Pride was his strongest trait.
Mm-hmm.
And the mere fact that he took the time and energy to give you his original
Yeah.
feelings,
Yep.
that act alone shows how egotistical he truly is. You are the pure essence of your father.
Oh, okay.
I insist that you come with me to see Father.
I don't think that's gonna
Don't
happen.
rush me, Pride. I don't need an invitation to call on him,
Oh.
but you can give him a message. Tell him Slave 23 will be dropping in.
Slave 23.
Just tell him to be patient and relax in his chair beneath Central. I'm coming. I am waiting for time. Yes,
Oh my god.
for you.
Sick. So sick. The Pride can only move in the tunnels in Central.
Yes.
Yep. Destroy the bridge.
What exactly were you doing in there?
Sending a declaration of
A declaration of war! Dude, it's just like Attack on Titan. There are so many parallels. I need to pause. I know we're pretty close to the end of the episode, but I've been really thinking about what the end game looks like here. Do we get a massive fight? Like, everyone finally comes together, we all fight the homunculi and Father as he's trying to complete this transmutation circle. And now that Hohenheim has just said, I've just sent a declaration of war to Father, I'm beyond excited at what could possibly happen.
I think some terrible coffee should warm us up.
Haha.
Enjoy it.
Huh? Who is it? Holy guacamole.
what the hell?
Is this Kimberly? Is it time?
It's Drachma!
Oh, we're looking at this side of the wall. Oh, what a time for this to happen. Central is here, Kimberly's trying to carve a crest of blood. Another declaration of war. Drachma. Is this really happening? This is gonna take care of all the bloodshed, man.
We are rather fortunate that no
Look at this guy.
Briggs has been called away.
Yeah, okay, oh.
Kimberly.
Oh.
On top of that,
Oh,
got a number of my top men already stationed inside the fort.
It makes too much sense now, of course.
Within.
Olivier is gone. And Kibley's used Drachma. Use the strength of Briggs against them. Use the strength of their soldiers against them. Make them fight Drachma. Kibley's gone to Drachma. Said, Olivier's not here. The northern wall of Briggs is gone. Now's your time. Bloody hell. I should have seen this coming.
Well, let's send a declaration.
A declaration of war!
Would you say we give them a nice fireworks show for starters?
All cannons, prepare to fire!
Oh my god. It's happening, and it's happening. That's it, isn't it? Okay, I know there's a post-credits. I'm going, where's Ed? Where is Ed? That's post-credits, for sure. For sure.
Yeah, hello? This
Hello, where are we?
reporting in.
Okay.
Kimbleigh's soldiers, Dr. Marco and Scar are hiding out
No!
in the village.
You made the right move by telling me this, Zombie.
No, you dickhead.
You'll be protected.
We haven't seen Envy in so long.
Dr. Marco.
Zampano!
Things are starting to look up.
I'm pissed. Stupid, selfish Zampano. It is at least 30 degrees inside my office right now. Alright, another fantastic episode. A lot of juicy details. A lot happened, but a lot of setup as well. So I'll go chronologically. I know I didn't last episode, there was too much going on, but I'll go chronologically here. Okay, so this opening sequence, we have made it to the place that Scar mentioned about where we can go and hide out instead of going to Briggs. May and Marco are still looking over the notes, figuring out it is written in code, much like how all alchemists do like to leave all their notes in code. They've taken Alphonse apart, so it was easier for them to carry. He has regained consciousness for now, and as they're putting Al back together, May starts to realize that, putting the pieces back together, and then she looks at the notebook of Scar's brother's notes, and you can kind of see that it's not a traditional book, right? Like, it's been put together seemingly by Scar's brother. So May just tips the whole thing on the floor, and she goes, right, if we use all of these terms, you know, like Aurelian and immortal being and gold and all of that, you know, as kind of the clues here, we can link everything together. And what they find after they do that is they can draw the big transmutation circle. So I guess in that regards, Scar's brother kind of figured that out. I don't know how. I don't know if that was specifically alluding to the massive Amestrian transmutation circle, even though that's what Marco said. I'd be very interested to know how Scar's brother would have figured that out, but Alphonse realizes after frickin' Yoki sneezes on the pages and flips them upside down, obviously there needs to be more to this. There must be more clues. Right, let's flip the whole thing upside down and we find an alchemistry transmutation circle, slightly different from the traditional one that we are used to seeing for alchemy. Now, to me, I'm gonna go back and look at the two of them. So it's very difficult for me to tell based on these images if the two transmutation circles would share a point. So for example, this is where my mind went. So if we manage to somehow create a transmutation circle this large, activated through Shinki's alchemistry, you know, the same size all through Amestris, would it share any points, right, that, you know, Father and all that would have created for their transmutation circle, like soaking the land in blood with the crests of blood? And to me, considering the fact that Sloth just finished the tunnel and Father's pretty much ready to do his whole thing right now as soon as this whole Briggs crest of blood is complete, I don't believe we have enough time to do all of that. But then it just makes me wonder, you know, is there even a similar sort of way that we can, like, do we have to activate all these points that, like, you know, similar to the crest of blood situation? What could it be for, you know, for alchemistry? You know, I imagine Hohenheim might have the answers to this. But it really makes me think. I don't know if I'm missing details. I don't know if I'm supposed to know. There's still 20 episodes left, so much can still happen. Or maybe it's to do with, like, both of them being activated at the same time, right? We're trying to do, like, this alchemy and alchemistry combination situation. Like, it's so interesting. Maybe it doesn't have to be on the same scale as, you know, the entirety of Amestris, but maybe if we have two, like, transmutation circles, one for alchemy, one for alchemistry. You know, there's so much to think about, and I don't really have much more to go on at this point, but it's just so interesting. Like, we know Scar's brother was proficient in alchemy and alchemistry. but how they tie together, you know, that's the thing. I'm really excited to figure that part out. But that whole opening segment was really interesting to me. You know, we've pretty much figured out what the notes were trying to say, right? The Amestrian transmutation circle for alchemy, and then for Shingi's alchemy as well. So Kimberly is traversing the tunnel slightly differently than our crew were, and he has come across, you know, a door with a big red X on it. He's gone through and he's found Sloth's tunnel. Pride has turned up out of nowhere, and he said, "Don't worry about Scar. Sloth's almost finished the tunnel. It's time. We need you to soak Briggs in blood." And Kimberly says, look, there are no pushovers up there, like it's not really that simple. To which Pride responds with, and I did talk about this a little bit towards the end of the episode as well, but right, it's a matter of time now, like we really want to get this going, you know, make it happen. Use the strength of the Briggs soldiers against them. To which Kimberly goes, all right, I can make that happen. And I just thought he might use his Philosopher's Stone to kind of force the issue or something, but no, he's zoomed his butt up to Drachma, like past the wall. I don't know how he's gotten up there so quickly, but he's gone and said to Drachma, Olivier is not there, man. Now is the time to strike. And Kimberly's with Drachma, and you know, the whole purpose of this for him, he just wants bloodshed. He does not care which side wins or loses. We know about this about Kimberly already, right? He just wants to see everything happen. He's just trying to make this massive war happen. Do the humans win? Do the homunculi win? You know? So Kimberly's just doing what he's got to do to make this happen. And I think we're going to get like what actually happens like with that fight, maybe next episode or in the next couple episodes. But Briggs versus Drachma like is actually happening. It's been like foreshadowed just how much Briggs is on the lookout for Drachma all this time, and now we're here. And we see several of Roy's men conversing about what's been going on. We see Fullmetal, we see Breda. I'm not actually sure if Breda is actually one of Roy's men, but he has been involved a lot. And we see Fury as well, and they're all talking about, you know, all the events happening, pretty much just creating bloodshed. Like we know that's what Central want right now, but I am under the impression that Briggs at this point is the last place that hasn't had any of this bloodshed. So all of this stuff happening like in the short term, like in the present, I believe. I'm not entirely sure if that actually matters in regards to this transmutation circle, but it really could be. But I believe like this whole Briggs versus Drachma thing is really like the last piece of the puzzle for this, for Father in this transmutation circle, right? And then we go back to Lior, and it did took me a minute to pick up on the fact that that was Rose. It has been damn near 40 episodes since we've seen her, but this is clearly post all of the uprising shenanigans happening in Lior. You know, the town is rebuilding, Rose is out here serving soup to everyone. Hohenheim rocks up pretty much like on the verge of like passing out, it seems. He's so hungry, which is really funny to me because we know he's immortal, but it seems like he still needs to eat and whatnot. So Hohenheim's purpose up here, he's looking for the church. So Hohenheim starts to show us, you know, how in touch he is with his alchemy as he walks across this pool of tainted water, which was presumably put there to keep everyone else out. And what he finds is the tunnel that Sloth has been digging. And as he stares into the darkness of the tunnel, out rushes Pride, and that scared the crap out of me. I'm sure you guys got a good laugh out of that. But I never really talked about this. It was very obvious, right, that the homunculus, the dwarf in the flask, was very similar looking to Pride, right? But it was so interesting how when Pride stops short after it chases Hohenheim, initially I thought it was what happened. I was like, oh, is there some barrier here stopping it from moving? And then when it says, you look like just like Father, you must be Hohenheim, I was like, oh, maybe it stopped because it recognized who it was. But no, Hohenheim is like, this must be the limitations of, you know, what you're able to do. This must be like your flask, like your dwarf in the flask. You can only move freely within the confines of the tunnel and I guess central, like where Father is. Pretty much inferring that the original dwarf in the flask that Hohenheim essentially grew up with was a very, very proud being, which is very true, very egotistical, as Hohenheim goes on to say as well. So pride being the first deadly sin to, I guess, be separated from Father, and Father in his egotistical ways has given Pride, you know, the exact same appearance pretty much as the original dwarf in the flask, seemingly with the same limitations. It can only move throughout, you know, certain confines. which is really interesting, and it really makes me think, right, pride seems really strong, but it does have its drawbacks. Perhaps it can only fight in certain places, right? Obviously where there are shadows, but maybe, not throughout the entirety of Amestris, which is really interesting going forward. I think a really big line that Hohenheim says is that you are the pure essence of your father. You as just pride are the pure essence of what the original Dwarf in the Flask was. But eventually we get to Pride saying, Hohenheim, you need to come with me to see father. And Hohenheim saying, no, I don't need an invitation to call on him. You tell him slave number 23 is coming to see him. Tell him to be patient. I'm coming to him. That was hard, like going all the way back to when they first met. They'll be panned to a very menacing shot of father saying, yes, I'm waiting for you, Van Hohenheim. And we get a little shot of that transmutation circle with his pieces on it, 3 of them representing Ed Allen Hohenheim, and 1 of them representing Izumi that's fallen down as well, and that 5th slot still open for interpretation. And I know I've had my few theories about who that 5th person could be up to this point, but I'm going to throw Kimberly in there as well. Kimberly is an absolute madman. Kimberly might, be the person to somehow open the portal just to make this happen, because we know Kimberly wants to make this happen. I'm just going to throw it in there. I'm not going to talk too much or go all in on that. I'm just going to throw that in there. It could be very interesting. And then Hohenheim emerges back out of the tunnel, and this becomes the theme of this last few minutes of the episodes. He says, what was I doing down there? I was sending a declaration of war. Now that line hits very hard for me. Anyone who has seen Attack on Titan will understand that. I damn near might make a video after I finish this about all the parallels between Fullmetal Alchemist and Attack on Titan. It's just absolutely fantastic, but that was really hard. I really enjoyed that. And I did have my little spill during the episode about how much I've been thinking about, is there going to be an all-out war? And I've been really thinking about what kind of really nuts fighting have we really seen in this show. And what always comes back to me is Roy versus Lust. That, I think, bar nothing, was showing off just the absolute peak of alchemy. And now we know at this point that Roy's flame alchemy is potentially the strongest alchemy as well. And that was just crazy, the way that Roy and Lust fought. There hasn't really been anything else like that. There's been lots of fight scenes sprinkled in here and there, but nothing quite on that scale. Of course, we've seen the Ishvalan War as well, Kimberly using his alchemy against Scar's family and whatnot. But I just feel like there's going to be some massive war. We're really going to see what all of this alchemy and all of its glory can do. Really get Armstrong in the fights, get Hawkeye in there, get Roy, get Izumi in there, Kimberly in there, wreaking havoc, get Lanfan and Fu back in from Xing. Maybe something will happen with Ling and Greed. There's just so much to think about, a declaration of war. Are we just going to get this all-out war, maybe in the depths of Central or somewhere in Amestris as father tries to start up this massive transmutation circle? It's really exciting. I'm not going to go all in on that. I'm not going to get my hopes up for that so that I'm disappointed later. I just think it would be a really cool thing, for all of this build up to just amount to something like that would be really cool, but we'll see what happens. And then we're back up north in Briggs when Drachma is invading, and I have talked about this already, but we do get Kimberly saying as well, this is a declaration of war of Drachma on Briggs. Just a really cool parallel to Hohenheim pretty much sending a declaration of war to father as well. I really enjoy that. And then we get this bloody post-credit scene of Zampano, going behind everyone's back and telling Envy and Bradley, where Scar and Marco are holed up, in their shack, up in the north somewhere. Which really pisses me off because I was really enjoying the fact that all these chimeras were kind of coming around. I think the other one that is with Zampano, and I'm really sorry, I'm going to keep butchering his name. I might go back through the episode and try and find it, because like I said last episode, I believe these characters deserve to have their names mentioned. Not so much Zampano anymore, but it's Jono or Jerzo. Okay, I think after looking it up, it's Jerzo. So I feel like he might be a better guy than Zampano, and I think the other two are Darius and Heinkel as well. I think they're going to be pretty cool as well, but I'm really annoyed because I just love that there was 2 chimeras, with Winry's group, and now the other 2 with Ed, who've kind of seemed to turn around from being, off with Kimberly, but Zampano clearly only looking out for himself. He's just right, I'm going to sell everyone out. to Bradley and Envy, but it's also interesting because they did kind of figure out this whole situation. Like maybe Zampano just thinks he wants to be, you know, on the homunculized side. Like it looks like they're about to activate the transmutation circle. I want to be on their side, you know, when they do this. I feel like they're winning right now, which, you know, is just a coward thing, but it is what it is. We'll see what happens with all that. But I think that's going to do it for this one. I am sweating my ass off in this room right now, so I'm not going to talk for too much longer. But we got no Ed this episode, which I'm kind of sad about. I really want to see like what's going on with him, you know, where are they going, what are they doing? But I imagine we're definitely going to get some next episode. This might be the first episode actually in the whole show that has not shown Ed. I don't think Ed was shown once this episode. He was mentioned up in Briggs, you know, when Miles returned. But I really don't think they showed Ed at all in this episode. Please correct me if I'm wrong. But that's going to do it for this one. Thank you all so much for watching. Please feel free to leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you want to see more content like this and for other shows as well. And as always, please continue to leave your comments and feedback down below. I'm enjoying it now more than ever, all of the interaction. You know, I always appreciate it, and we'll see you in the next episode of Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood.